Hey, trans girls. I know the holidays have just passed, and I know you probably indulged a little bit. Some of us, we indulged a lot, but for a lot of us, we indulged a little bit. Talking to a lot of our clients, one of the permeating things that have constantly been in our discussions has been this kind of view of I'm either on my diet, on my workouts, doing everything perfectly, or I'm totally off. I'm eating everything in sight. I'm not working out. I'm drinking a lot. I'm doing all the wrong things. And so this all or nothing type of way of looking at, progress is a very, very dangerous one. Why? Because invariably, when things are going well, something is going to come up that's going to take you off that notch. The holidays are here. You're off of your routine. Maybe the gym is close to work and you're not working, for example, or you get an injury like I did. I got bursitis in my elbow for the past 2 months. Haven't been able to work out my upper body, but guess what? I've still been going to the gym. Um, it's been hard for me mentally, but nonetheless, I'm still trying to create and stay in that routine and that habit. So this all or nothing thing, for many of us, it is the invariable problem of trying to get to a goal. And if that goal is far away, if you're 300 or 400 pounds and your goal is to be 150 or 200 pounds, guess what? It's going to take some time. If you've just started your transition and you are looking at, getting to that hypothetical end goal where you are happy and you're finally living that life fully and authentically, and you're passing if that's what you're looking for, or if that's just kind of like you want to live your life, realizing that transition is a long journey. An incredibly long one. I like to say pack your patience as you start transitioning, and similarly pack your patience if you're on the journey of getting healthier. A lot of our clients, they come to us and they're like, well, I want results yesterday. I started transitioning and now I want it all. And they may have waited 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years to start their transition. And obviously, when you're in that boat, it really feels like, you've missed out. The FOMO is real when you're missing out on 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of living your authentic life. And so this really difficult, and I consider it very dangerous way of looking at transition or health or, your journey generally, is this all or nothing type of thing. So how do we get out of it? How do we stop this 100% or 0% type of looking at your journey? I'm going to tell you, it is difficult for all of us. Don't feel that just because you fell off the rails, you fell off your program, that is a you problem. It is an everyone problem. I was talking to a client yesterday, and she was talking about how she had these amazing fudge brownies in the house, and she was sick of them. She was done. She'd eaten quite a few of them, and she was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Should I keep them? And I was like, well, if it was me, I would probably throw them out. Just for me, because that temptation for me would be pretty big. Imagine you leave your most delicious dessert on the kitchen counter, and no matter what, every time you walk by in the kitchen, you're going to smell that dessert. You're going to smell those cookies or brownies or whatever. How many of us could skip it every single time? I know me, I wouldn't. I definitely don't have that kind of willpower. I try to create systems that allow me to not have that stuff, especially when I'm dieting. Now, that doesn't mean I'm always dieting. For the past little while, I've actually kind of relaxed a little bit and, given myself a little bit of a break so that when I do start dieting again, I can hit it right. And, I don't let myself get too far, to be honest with you, from my goals, but nonetheless, even I take my foot off the gas, even though I've been working out for 32 years. So how do we get back on once we have fallen off? We're no longer at 100. And for many of us, we go from 100 directly to 0. We let go of our workouts. We let go of our diet. We stop doing all the things that we know are constructive and moving us towards our goals. This is what I do, and I hope it helps you in some way. Um, I try to grab hold of one thing, something that I know I can control. Because for a lot of us, it's control. Really, when it comes right down to it, it's I'm either in control or I'm not in control. And life doesn't work that way. You know, we're obviously in control of something, even when we feel like we're losing control. And so that's where a lot of this all or nothing thing comes from. It's a feeling of I'm in control of myself and my environment, or I'm not in control of myself. Things are happening to me instead of I am the agent of change and I am creating the change and I am in control. And so, as a control freak, I will admit that I like to stay in control. It's very difficult for me to lose control. And that's a really red flag over here. But nonetheless, um, I hate losing control. I hate feeling like I am out of control. But when it happens, and I feel like I am out of control, and the world is taking me for a spin, what I try to do is I try to grab one thing that I can control, something that is in my capacity. My favorite one to do is breakfast. And it's so difficult to go from 100 to zero. And it's also very difficult to go from zero to 100. So what I do is I grab one thing. I grab that breakfast, something that I know is healthy, something that I know works for me. So for example, for me, it's oatmeal, blueberries, a little bit of sugar-free maple syrup, and half a scoop of vanilla protein. And that is kind of my go-to. So I know I've started the day right. I've started the day with a healthy meal. And now kind of taking that first step and that first bit of control and making it a routine, hitting it on day one, hitting it on day two, hitting it on day three. And then all of a sudden, it starts becoming part of the routine again. And now I feel like I am gaining a little bit of control over my life. I'm no longer just this food vacuum, eating everything in sight, eating all the chocolate, not one piece of chocolate, all of the chocolate. Because I used to be just like that. I used to be all or nothing. I would either eat none of the chocolate or I would eat all of the chocolate. I would either be on a perfect diet or I would be totally off and I would eat everything in sight. So, grabbing hold of one thing allows you to grab hold of now a second thing. And so now you've done this thing where you're starting to feel like you are the agent of change in your own life. And that allows you to take that second step. Now, what is that second step? Maybe it's a workout. Maybe it's something else. I like to do my workouts. I have always felt that my workouts, no matter what, no matter how bad I've been feeling, they've always made me feel better. And so it's the first thing I do in the morning. I usually wake up in the morning, I get ready, and I go straight to the gym. And then I know that my day has started off right. And so if you want to grab hold of control again, whether you work out at home, whether you work out at a gym, it doesn't really matter. The point is feeling like you've centered yourself. There's that dopamine hit just from working out. There's that feeling of, when your heart rate rises and you're like, whew, I feel alive. And that feeling, if you make it relate to the feeling that you're actually moving yourself towards your goals, moving yourself towards more health, sustainability, longevity, function, all of that wonderful stuff. Not only is it moving you forward towards your transition goals. So, all that being said, this is the way we regain control of our lives. And when you're never going to get to 100%, realistically, there is no such thing as a perfect meal. There is no such thing as a perfect workout. It doesn't exist. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body adapts in a different way. You have to give yourself a little bit of a break. I like to say, give yourself grace. You would give grace to your best friend. You would give grace to the random stranger on the street. But we are so hard on ourselves. We never give that grace to ourselves. So when things do fall off, when something does happen, when your willpower does bend a little bit too much and you end up going and having that brownie, don't let one brownie turn into 5, which turns into 20. Let yourself have that thing. Let yourself realize that that's okay. And it's so much easier to go from One, back to actually having a really well balanced diet. So please, I guess in all, what I'm really trying to say is be gracious, gracious to yourself in ways that you would be gracious to another person. That is probably the lesson that I have taken to heart most from one of my best friends, Hannah. She kind of said that to me when I was really struggling a few years back, and I really took it to heart, and it has helped me immensely in terms of my journey and just giving myself you know, being kind to myself because it's so easy to be kind to others, but it's so difficult for us to be kind to ourselves. So if you are feeling like you are out of control, grab something that you know is going to work for you. Something, it doesn't matter what it is, but something that allows you to feel like you are moving forward again and you are in control of that one thing. Be gracious, grab hold of one thing, control that one thing, moving yourself forward in that direction. And honestly, if you do that, really start to see yourself in a more holistic way because there is no perfect. Perfect only exists in theory, never in practice. So let's not try to aim for those goals. They are not realistic. I tried, I failed. It's impossible. So let's not try to reach for perfect because it doesn't exist. And you know what? If you're at 60 and you get 60% and all you had was 60%, you give 100%. So with that, love you all. If you want a program and this is something that you are really interested in and money's tight and blah blah blah, I know all that stuff. Madison and I created a free program. It includes some really great meals. It includes a workout program that will kind of get you started. Just put Dream Body below and I will definitely send that to you. And all the best in the new year. Bye all.